Hey guys, and welcome back to World War II Solitaire board game channel. Really excited here today to bring you the last playthrough of USS Laffey, the ship that would not die. So you have seen me successfully defend the ship on Ensign, Lieutenant and Commander level, and now it's finally push come to shove, can I do it on the Captain level? On the Captain level we have 4 supplies. But the big difference here is we have only one damage control team, and that is going to be a pain somewhere. Okay, so for our first round, I am going to go ahead and do some clear skies. As long as things don't turn too chaotic, I think that is a good way to go. We're going to roll to see which airplane we will start with, and it will be airplane number 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be this fella. And he's going to go ahead and bomb on the right side. And he targets number 5, which is the communication center. So we are going to first start by doing a damage of debris. Let's see. And then we have an explosion. And the explosion we can choose to put in an adjacent area, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and put the explosion in the bridge, because that only gives us 2 damage pips from that explosion. If I would have put it in the, for example, magazine and ammunition, it would have been 4. And then finally we have a leak, and the leak we shall put in the communications compartment. And now it's my time to roll, my turn to roll. So that's a few bad, or quite a lot of bad results. The 1s, of course, we're going to save. The 9s and the 0s, we definitely want to get rid of those. Still got some bad numbers. Want to get rid of the 0 and 9. And a 1 and a 7. Okay, so we'll take the 7. That's not too horrible. Let's see what we want to do. We want to use 2 of the 1s and turn them into 4s. And one of the 1s we're going to turn into a 5. So the 3, we're going to go ahead and fix the leak in the communication center. The AA will take 2 shots at the next coming plane. And then we have... Let me remove these. Then we have the 5-inch gun, which is going to go ahead and target the next coming 2 planes for 2 shots. And then finally, and unfortunately, we do have a leak. So the leak, we're going to go ahead and put that in the... I'll put that in the magazine and ammunition, as you are free to put that in an adjacent box or compartment. And then unfortunately that means we have to do the phase 5 leak spreads, since we have an active leak, and the leak spreads downward, so the leak spreads from the magazine and ammunition on the right side to the storage compartment. And that is the end of that turn. We are going to go ahead and continue using clear skies. And then we're going to roll for the next plane, which is also attacking on the right side. The hit, by the way, I forgot to give the penalty, I remember now. So the penalty from getting hit in the communications is taking away one of these cells of the FM2 Wildcat. That's the penalty for getting the communications hit on the right side. So next one is going up on 6, which is the crew quarters. The penalty is going to be taking away one of my D10. And I'm good with that, because they can possibly be bad. And we are going to have an explosion. So it originates in the crew quarters, spreads to the radar, also through communications and through storage. And then we roll some, put that there to remember, because we have clear skies activated. We'll roll some dice. That is not what we were hoping for. But I actually think I'm going to go ahead and take these. Want to get rid of that 7. have 2 chances to do so, and we managed to do so. That's very good. Okay, so we are gonna go ahead and fix the leak in the storage. And that's the only thing we can do. The glances don't do anything. We have phase 5 leak spreads. Again, it's gonna spread down to the storage. And that's it for that turn. So in this turn, again, I am gonna go ahead and use clear skies. And we'll remove this from the rising sun. We're not gonna roll for the kamikaze planes because we have a full clear skies, but we also take that one out. And we roll now, hoping to get rid of those. God damn it, sorry. Of those leaks. Okay, so we have to freeze. Sorry for using the Lord's name in vain. Okay, we are going to reroll those. We are looking for primarily 5s, 4s, and 1s. Okay, so we got a 1 at least. And only one that's going to hurt us on this turn are rolls of... let me see, rolls of 10. So I got 1 of those. Okay. Alright, so the 1 we're going to go ahead and turn into a 5. The wrenches we're going to use obviously to clean up our leaks over here. The 4 we're taking away 1 damage pip from the next coming plane. The 1 we're taking away 1 damage pip from this plane over here. The 5 that is. The 9 doesn't do anything. The explosion unfortunately we have to do. And we're gonna go ahead and keep exploding in the bridge. So there's 1 in the bridge and 1 in the communications. I've actually never had this much damage to a compartment, a single compartment this early on. So this is a little bit worrying for me. We'll see what happens. Alright, so I'm not even gonna move my guy. He's gonna go ahead and stay in the clear skies, in the rudder. Keep spamming that. And the attack is again going to be... No, it's going to be on the left side now, so that's good. And it's in compartment number 1, which will add a leak. Okay, so in compartment number 1, let's see. We will have a fire. There we go. And let's see, then we have a penalty, and the penalty is that we're going to have a leak in either an adjacent or in the targeted. And actually in this one I think it even says that it cannot go to an adjacent one if it has a damage control team there. So it's going to be in the target compartment. We're going to have a leak. Alright. And then we put this one here. And let's roll. And the train is always going by when I'm playing. Okay, so definitely... Okay, so the question is now, I could save the 5, push my luck, because I do need another 1 or a 2 or a 3, but I think I can get one of those. I have 2 rerolls. Yeah, look at that. So pushing my luck definitely paid for itself. Then we have a 0 that we want to reroll. And it turns also into a 4. Okay, so the ones, one of them we're going to turn into a wrench. The other one we're going to turn into the 5-inch gun. And the hose, we're taking care of that fire in the stern. The wrench, we're taking care of the leak. The AA, we're going to go ahead and use fire. So bam, the next guy is taken out of the sky. And then the next guy we take a pip from. And then we have the 5-inch gun. We're going to go ahead and fire at these 2. So bam, bam. And that's done. And we go to the next turn now. My my friend here, he stays in the rudder. I'm going to go ahead and mark off 2 stars from the clear. Oops. Okay, so I marked off 1 star too many. So I'll just remember that until next time. I'll just mark off 1. We're not going to go ahead and roll the red one because we have full cell of clear skies, so we'll just mark that off. We have one more full remaining, and we're gonna roll and hope for some AA. It's absolutely essential that you get a high amount of AA during these clear your sky turns, and that you avoid the zeros or the tens. So the fours, I don't really want them, but this is actually a perfect roll, even though it's going to cause some trouble, because the fives are better, because that way you get to manage more of your own. But we're going to take out a lot of planes with these, and I'm going to turn the 1 into a 5. Okay, so the normal AA, I have 4 hits. So 1, so we take down that guy. So 1 more shot down. 2, 3, so that is 1 more guy shot down. That's 3 in a row. And then 1 more guy. So 1, so almost shot down. And then we're using the 5s to take 1 hit each on these guys. So 1, 2. And that brings us now to the next turn, and I will use clear skies again. And remember, I marked off 1 too many stars, so I'll just mark off 1 star this turn. And we're gonna have an attack on our right side of the ship, unfortunately. Let's hope it's not gonna be a number 5. It's an explosion, so it will hurt anywhere. Okay, so we unfortunately did get it in number 5, and the penalty is marking off one of these wildcats. The explosion is hitting number 5, so it also spreads to the bridge, to the radar, to the crew quarters, to the magazine and ammunition. Actually, didn't we have an explosion there before? Maybe I forgot to. Okay, I'll just do 1 more pip in case I forgot. And then the storage is also kind of adjacent, I'd say. So we'll do an explosion there as well. Okay, so that is that guy dealt with. We're gonna go ahead and put that there to remember, because we do have 1 more clear sky available. And gonna roll some dice, hope for the best now. We don't have any immediate things to deal with, like fires or leaks, so that is wonderful, because then we don't have to stress out about pushing your luck and trying to roll 1s or 2s and 3s. So we're just going to go ahead and get rid of these bad ones, like the 9s, and so on. And the worst thing about these, like the 8 for example, is that it's effectively going to give me 2 leaks, because it's going to give me the 1 leak and then the leak from the leak spreads. Anyway, so the bridge, we're going to go ahead and turn that into, let's see what we want to do with that. I think we'll turn that into I'll turn that into a 4. Okay, so that is going to hit this next guy with the explosion for 1 hit. Normally I'd leave these 2 pips, the explosion and the debris damage, but now we have so much damage to our right compartment that I don't feel like taking that risk. Then we have 5s, and we're going to go ahead and use those on these 2. Bam, bam. And the 6s are ignored. Unfortunately, we do have 8. So we're going to have to put that in... luckily, we can put that in an adjacent compartment. But then we're going to have even more damage over here. But I think I'll put it in the radar. Oh, nope. I don't think I'm going to do that at all. Okay, so I'll put it in the magazines and ammunition again. And again, in leak phase 5, it's going to spread downwards to the storage. So that is unfortunate. Okay, next turn, I am staying in the clear skies area. And let's see. I could go and fix some leaks, I guess. Kind of tough call, because you can miss 2 leaks. That is not, impossible. I'm gonna keep pushing these clear skies. I have a feeling that it's gonna pay off. So I'll stay there, and we're not gonna roll the red one, and we'll mark off the clear skies cell. And we're gonna go ahead and roll our dice. Hope for some 1s and 3s to fix those leaks. Okay, so we got 1 free at least. Quite a lot of 5s. And now the question is, do I wanna risk it because I still need to fix those leaks. It's going to be too much damage. And actually, I don't think I want to risk it, so I'm going to reroll all of those. So I got one more free, so that's good. I got those leaks fixed. Now, not a lot of AA during this turn, but at least I got the damage under control. And I got a 4 and a 1. Let's see, a 4 and a 1. Okay, and a 3. Another 3, I guess. Alright, so the 1 I'm going to go ahead and turn into a 4. And the 3s are going to, of course, they're going to fix the leak here. Or the leaks. Then the 4s are taking 2 shots. So 1, that guy is down, and 1. Then we have the 5-inch gun, and the 5-inch gun is going to go ahead and take 1 shot at this guy. And that's it for that turn. We're going again, and of course, clear skies, keep at it. And let's see, so it's going to hit now on the left side, that's good. We need some damage over on that side instead. Fortunately, unfortunately, I'd say it's 6, is where we don't want damage to happen. So we have a fire in the crew quarters, and the crew quarters penalty is removing one of our D10. Okay, so we need to roll at least a 1 or a 2 to avoid an explosion. It's not the end of the world if we get an explosion, to be honest. Okay, so we have some AA. I'm gonna also, whoops, getting excited here. I'm also gonna cross off the fire. So we have worked ourselves to at least a quarter of the kamikaze planes. That's pretty good. Did I roll those? I'm unsure if I rolled or not. I don't think I did, right? Anyway, it's a good result, so I'm gonna re-roll it, but because I don't think I rolled them. But anyway. Okay. So saving the 1, saving. I'm actually gonna save all of these since I kind of want to avoid getting hit. 6, I'll save that as well. Okay. So the 1 I'm gonna go ahead and turn into I'll turn that into, let's see what I want to turn that into. I'll turn that into a 5. Okay, so one of the 2s fixes this here fire in the crew quarters. And the 3 is ignored, I have no leak. The 5-inch gun, we fire over here. And the 6 is ignored, as you know. And let's see, this should stay here since we have a clear sky cell available. And I'll take back my die. Okay, next turn I stay in the clear skies. I'm gonna go ahead and stay there for at least a few more rounds. We don't roll this, so we mark off 1 cell. And we roll now. Hope for a lot of AA. So 1 and a 1, that's good. And a 5. 7, 0, 8, we don't want those. Definitely don't want the 0. Okay, that's good. This is looking like a good turn. Ooh, look at that. We got maximum amount of AA. Okay, so the 1s, we're going to turn 2 of them into AA. 1 of them into a 5-inch gun. So the AA is taking off 2 damage pips from the next guy coming. And then we have the 5-inch gun. And we're going to go ahead and target these 2 planes with that. So 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. So let's hope we don't get too many 4s now, because these guys are really vulnerable. And you don't want to get these guys with 3 or 4 pips, you know, and fires and all kinds of bad stuff. Okay, so it's the next turn, and guess what? We're staying in the rudder. Keep spamming some clear skies. And we have an attack on the left side, which will be an explosion. In number 9. Okay, so that's okay. It is there is a risk we're gonna get some fires now, but it is what it is. So the explosion happens in the aft fire room. Adjacent is engine room, battle dressing station, crew quarters, and fuel tanks. All right. So we can't roll any 6s now, or those are gonna turn into fires. Whoops. Okay, so the only thing I see that we need to reroll is the 6 and the 8. So 5 and 4. That's good. And the 3s, I'll take those, even though they're wasted. A 7 and a 0, no. Okay, a 3 and a 0, that's okay. I'll take a 0 before a fire or a leak, because at least that's an explosion. That's just debris, so I don't have to deal with any active leaks or anything like that. But let's deal with the first stuff. Okay, so the 3s are wasted, obviously. We already did this explosion, right? Yeah. Okay, so the AA is going to take 1 shot at the next plane coming. And then we have the 5-inch gun. We're going to go ahead and start shooting at these guys now. So this explosion plane is hit by 1. And then we have an explosion. And we get to choose where to put it. And I think, let's see where I want to put it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a lot of adjacents. So you kind of have to pick one that doesn't have too many adjacent zones. And let's see, I don't have too many planes coming now that's actually attacking the right side of the ship. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is going to be more hits coming on this side of the ship as we progress through the game. So I should be a little bit careful thinking that this is what I need to protect, because soon it's going to be actually this side that I'm going to need to protect. I think I'm going to put it in the stern. And then I'm going to absorb the rudder damage with my damage control team, which is there, by paying one supply point. So I think that is a very effective way to do it, even though the stern is the most damaged compartment on the left side. Okay, so we go to the next turn. Guess what? I'll stay in the clear skies area. We are not going to roll because we have a clear sky cell filled in. We mark that off and we roll and hope for AA. And we don't really want 4s now, we want 5s. So we have 2 5s. And we want to avoid 0s. Okay, so we get 1 4. And the question is, do we want to save it? I'll say yeah, I want to save that. Because it's an explosion plane, so it might be worth taking out. Last reroll. Unfortunately I get a 0. That is the way it is sometimes. The 1s I'm going to turn into 5s. And there we have it. Okay, so the 4 is taking a shot at this guy. So he's effectively taken out. Then we have the 5-inch gun. We're going to go ahead and fire the 5-inch gun at these planes. So that's 4 shots. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 shots. And then we have the explosion. We're going to do the same thing again here. The explosion hits in the stern. And then my damage control team in the rudder will spend 1 supply point to absorbing that explosion damage. And that is the end of that turn. We go now with an attack on the right side of the ship. And 8... which is the forward fire room. Again, one where 6s are going to turn into fires. That's not very nice. It is just a normal pip, so it's no fire, nothing nasty. Okay, so let's roll. We're going to go ahead and leave that there. And let's see what we got. We got some bad stuff. The 1 we're going to save, the 2 we're going to save, as well as the 5. Obviously the 6, we don't want that one. 5 and 3 and 7. So let's try to get rid of that 7. Ooh, and it turns into another explosion. I never had so many explosions. Okay, so the 1. Let's see what I'm gonna do with that. I want to turn the 1 into a 4. Because we are gonna get some 4s, I'm sure, in the next one. The 2 is wasted. The 3 is wasted. The 1 takes down the next plane coming. The 5s, we will choose these 2 planes. So 1, 2 hits. Then the explosion. Let's see where we want to put that. I want to put the explosion in... I want to put it in... Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm going to put it in the battle dressing station. Or should I put it in the engine room? Perhaps. Yeah, I will put it in the engine room. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pips of damage for 1 explosion. That is bad. But it is what it is. Okay, next turn. We have no active fires, no active leaks, and that's all that matters. The way we have that, we can keep spamming clear skies. If we do start to have active fires and active leaks, well, that kind of makes you have to put your attention somewhere else. Okay, so we remove the red die. There will be no kamikaze attack. We cross off one of these clear skies boxes, and we roll and hope for AA now, because the next one has 3 pips. We can't hit him with 5s, only 4s, and it's gonna be a lot of nasty explosions. And unfortunately, we start by rolling 2 5s. Don't want those. And I'm unsure if I should re-roll them or not, because the 3 damage pips, if they hit anywhere near here, the communication center is gonna be lost. That is pretty bad. Well, the question is, they could also turn into explosions, so... Well, I feel like I kind of have the situation under control even without the 5s, I guess. Okay, so I'll re-roll the 5s. I'll play it safe. And you see, I'm still not getting any 4s or 1s. Okay, this is bad. 1 4. That's a bad roll. Okay, so we got 1 4, so we got 1 hit on that plane coming up with the 2 explosions on it. Unfortunately, there's not a 5, there's not a 1. That is the worst roll I ever had. Okay, so let's see what we're gonna do. The only compartments we can protect here is the crew quarters and the 2 different crew quarters. If we had a shield in the communication center, we definitely would have used that. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I think actually I'm gonna go ahead and just keep spamming the clear skies, because I think that is the only way I'm gonna be able to survive. Okay, so we have 2 explosions coming. Hopefully it's going to be on the right side, so hopefully it's not going to be in the communication center. But the problem here is that if it's in 9 or 7 or 6, 4 or 3, it's still going to hit the communication center. So let's hope for a roll of 2, a 1, an 8 or a 10. A 1 would be perfect. We get a 4, unfortunately. So that's the storage. And let's see. Oh, we can actually do something here to save ourselves. We can actually do that. Okay, so the first explosion goes into the storage, spreads to the crew quarters, the magazines and ammunitions, and the second crew quarters, and also to the communications, which only have 1 pip remaining. But then, the next explosion, we can choose an adjacent compartment, and we shall choose the crew quarters for that. Perfect. Which spreads to the bow, the storage, and the magazines and ammunitions compartment. Wow. Okay, so that is the damage pips. Oh, I crossed off the wrong one, so let's remember that this is wrong. There is 1 explosion remaining here on this plane. I'm getting too excited. Okay, so it hit again. Let's see, the storage. It was right, yep. So that means we lose our last 2 supplies. So we are now completely out of supplies. So that's pretty bad. Okay, so let's roll some D10. And I think it's a pretty good deal. A lot of 6s, I've never seen so many. And a 1, we definitely want to get rid of the 0 or the 10. Ah! Turns into a 3, and we're okay with that. Okay, so the 1 we're gonna go ahead and turn into a 4. And the 3 is ignored. And the 4 takes down the next guy. And the reason why I do that, even though he only has 1 pip remaining, is because he's an explosion and he's heading for the right side. And we can take more damage on this side more. So that's that, and the 6s are ignored. Okay, so we're kind of, you know, in the last fights here now. Let's see, I'm gonna cross this one out, as I like to do with the planes that I've successfully shot down. We have clear skies, and we're gonna go ahead and use that again. And I think that is gonna be the last box we will fill out with clear skies, actually. We remove this, we're not gonna roll it for this turn. And we cross out this cell. And now we pray that we get some AA here. Ooh man, look at that. Could definitely be worse. So we got 3 5s. And these ones we are gonna go ahead and reroll. Oh man, look at that. Okay, that is not a good roll. Come on. Okay, I'll take that. I will take that rather than the other one. Okay, so the 1, we're gonna go ahead and turn that into a 4. So that is taking 1 shot off the next plane coming. And then we have 3 5-inch guns. And let's see what we want to do with that. We want to use it on these guys. So 1, 2, 3. The 6 is a glance, the 8 don't do anything during these turns when we have clear skies. Okay, so next turn, and this is the last time we're gonna go ahead and use clear skies. And we are rolling now for an attack, again on the right side of the ship, no, sorry, on the left side of the ship. It's an explosion. And it's gonna happen in 6, which is the crew quarters. The penalty is removing 1 of my D10. And again, it's an explosion. So it spreads to the forward fire room, the fuel tanks, the aft fire room, and the battle dressing station. And that's all from him. And now we get to roll. And we hope again for some AA. Look at this guy coming with 2 explosions and all that. Okay. Let's see, we got a 1 and a 3, we're gonna save those. The other ones we definitely want to get rid of. 8, 7, and 9s. A 2 and a 4. We want to get rid of that. Oh yeah, okay, so I gotta admit, this is my absolute favorite part of this game, rolling these dice. And now when we're getting to the conclusion, it's really scary. Okay, so let's see, we have this one, we're going to turn that into a 4. The 2 and a 3 we ignore because, again, we have no active fires, no active leaks. That is our primary objective. And as long as you can control that, you're good to go. Okay, so we have 3 AA here now, so that is going to be juicy, okay? So 1 shot at this guy, and he's dead. And then 2 shots taking out the explosives on the next guy. And that is the end of the turn. So what should we do now? We're not going to keep spamming clear skies now. We are going to go ahead and leave that. We are going to go ahead and think. We're going to go ahead and use the red D10. We remove that. There will be no attack. We have a full set of clear skies, so we'll mark that off. And roll all of our D10 plus the Japanese one. And we're just looking for AA now. We don't have many planes remaining. That one, I guess I'm going to re-roll. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and re-roll that one before we re-roll the rest. I don't want a 3. So I gotta say, I am kind of wishing for more AA than this. But it's okay. Last chance. Okay, so that's not very good, but it is what it is. Okay, we have... Alright, we'll turn that into a 5. Okay, so we have 2 normal AA. Let's see. Okay, so we'll use those. We have to use those. So 1 hit, so we take down this guy, and then 1 hit on that guy. Then we have 2 5-inch guns. And the question is, I want to eliminate the guy on the left here that's heading on the right side. So we'll target these 2 guys. So 1, 2, because it's the right side of the plane that I'm worried about. Okay, so that is the end of the turn. We go now to the next turn. And I am going to go ahead and let's see. I'm going to lock one of my D10 to a 1. And let's see, it's going to be on the left side. 9, which is the aft fire room again. And the penalty there is all of my 6s will turn into fires. Okay, so that's all of him. Yes, just a normal debris. Okay, so that is a very good roll. 2 5s, a 4. Want to get rid of the 8 and the 7. Whoops. And we get a 2 and a 4. That's perfect. Thank you. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna go ahead and change one of them into a 4. The 2 is wasted, of course. Then we have 3 4s. So 1, he's taken down. 2, he's taken down. And then the last one gets 1 hit. Then we have 2 5-inch guns, and those are gonna fire at this guy. 1 hit, bam. Then up, okay, 1 hit on him, so he has 1 normal debris remaining. Okay, so we're soon at the end here. We have 2 more planes remaining, and both of them is gonna fire on this side, so I think we can make it. Okay, so our damage control team. I cannot use the bridge again. You can only use it every other turn. So I am going to go ahead and roll the red 1. So that's why I'm locking it to. So we will see where the attack happens. It's going to be on the left side. It's going to be a normal debris attack. And 8, which is... See, 8. Where is 8? Engine room. Oh, that's not good because that's going to start a fire. But we have a normal debris of damage here. And then we'll just start the fire in the engine room itself. Okay. So it's time for us to roll some D10. And we will also roll the red 1 and ignore rolls of 9 to 10. Oops. Okay, so definitely a pretty decent roll. We have 4 of 5. The 2 we're going to use for the hose. The 6 will save. And the 2 and the 3... we'll just save those 2 because we don't want to get hit. And reroll this one. Okay, I'm going to reroll it again. A 4. Okay, so that means we have 1. Okay, it's because the 2s, I'm using them to put down the fire in the engine room. The 3 is wasted. The 4s, we take 2 shots at this next plane coming. The 5, we take the last shot required. And that, my friends, mean that we have successfully won the game on the captain level. And I gotta say, all the levels I played, the captain level is the most fun. And I know I said in all of my videos that I don't think Clear Skies is overpowered. Well, okay, I've changed my mind a little bit. I think Clear Skies definitely is a little bit overpowered. I mean, you haven't seen me use the Wildcat once or the supplies, but also I gotta say that I have used the Wildcat several times off camera, and then I have learned that okay, maybe the Wildcat isn't worth it. Maybe the Clear Skies is actually more. I mean, it's better to have a turn without incoming fire, without penalties from rolling 7 to 9, and actually being able to roll maybe 5 or 6 of these. And taking down 2 planes instead of 1. So I'll admit that. But it's still fun. And the captain level is where it's at. Because you see how close it was over here with the communications. And then the magazines and ammunitions, and the storage wasn't far behind. So both storage and communications only had 1 pip remaining. So an explosion in any of those would have cost me the game. So I've just very much learned how to play it, I'd say. Well, guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe and comment. Give me a comment. I know I did... it bothered me. I did one thing. It was... I forgot if I rolled or not. I hope you don't think I cheated, because I think that if it was a second roll or not, it wasn't a very good one. But I hope it was the first roll. But again, you know, I gotta keep track of the camera, of the lighting over here, of the recording with the microphones and all of that stuff, and that's just on top of the game. So sometimes that kind of stuff happens. Well, I'm gonna stop babbling, and I'm gonna let you go to Catastrophe Games website and get yourself this very good game. I gotta say, for the price of this game and the hours I spent on it, I'm really impressed. So that's what you gotta do right now. Okay, guys, see you next time. Bye.